Hello Libra, and welcome to your Mermaid type tarot reading for the month of May 2021. Whenever you get this reading, it's perfect for you, but it is intended to be for the month of May, or the duration of a month. So my readings are about relationships. They can be relationships with your friends, your family, romantic relationships, no contact relationships, things that have to do with maybe your dream time, or anything related to, your pets, past loved ones, people on the other side, aliens. Whatever relationship is on your mind is perfect for this reading. And it is general, so take what resonates with you and leave what does not. Stay tuned at the end if you want to learn a little bit more about me, how I read cards, and all of that stuff. So let's look at your cards. The first one that we have today is the Moon. The Moon is all about cycles and phases of change. It's a major arcana card, and often it can represent our mother, or our motherhood, or our mothering, or things around the feminine, because the Moon is associated with the divine feminine as she changes from new to full and cycles around the earth, never staying still and constantly going through a cycle. This is crossed by the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant is like religious tradition and authority, contracts, marriage certificates, and those types of things. So you could see how there might be a contrast here. And for you, Libra, having two major arcana at the center of your reading means that this is going to be probably a pretty big month for you. You are showing up with the Nine of Cups, so I think this is going to be really wonderful. It's sort of like a wish come true or dream fulfillment. You should feel very happy, or you are going to be feeling very happy with this situation. In the unconscious, you have the Four of Cups. So this means that there might be a bit of a disconnect between what you think you're feeling and how you're actually feeling. So there might even be something better being offered to you that you don't even realize. So I am seeing already contradictions or opposing forces showing up with the Hierophant and the Moon, tradition versus like natural cycles of change, the Nine of Cups, which is emotional happiness, and the Four of Cups, which is kind of like a melancholy sadness. So we're seeing a bit of a split in your reading. That might mean that you're going back and forth a lot this month. And the past is Temperance. So if you're listening to this, perhaps you're resonating with the idea of really having to put effort into finding a balance or finding a middle way in your relationships if they've been going hot and cold, positive and negative, focusing on the positive, focusing on the negative, not seeing opportunities, feeling like your dreams have come true, and then feeling as if your hopes have been lost, that type of thing. So the Temperance in the past means that you have been putting effort, or there have been people, angels, supportive figures to help try and bring this into balance for you. And the future position is the Four of Swords. This is the one that just says, hey, why don't you take a nap and go meditate? So that might be your best solution in the future when you're feeling this kind of going back and forth is, don't forget to take the rest that you need to rest. Rest your mind. Rest your mind, come from your heart. That's another thing. When lots of things are going on, the mind is overworked. We can drop into the heart. So you yourself are showing up as Justice, which is needing to make a decision or being influenced by a decision. Sometimes we do need to make choices, whether or not we have all of the information that's been whether or not we know everything, we still have to make choices with the information that's been provided, you know? So you're in that that mode, that justice mode. So that's another good reason to seek balance or moments of balance, so that you're making choices from a place of being well rested. In the environment, we have strength, and so there certainly seems like there's a ton of support here in archetypal energy. Strength is about, you know, taming the beast and really having a hold on things like addiction and materialism. They say strength is the only card that can defeat the devil. So certainly the environment is supporting you in terms of, having strength. So how does that, I'm like pausing for a second, thinking like, how does a strong environment support you in reaching balance or in resting? I guess that would be like if people around you are really stepping up to the plate, that gives you the opportunity to rest if you need to, in order for you to make the right decision. So if you have some important decisions coming up that influence a lot of people in your relationships, then they're going to want to give you the time and space so that you can make the right choice, okay? And the world is showing up in your hopes and fears. This is, has to do with travel, and it also has to do with major endings. The moon having to do with cycles and phases of change, the Hierophant having to do with contracts. You might be responsible for making a decision, signing a contract, signing a lease, that brings about a new cycle of change for a lot of different people. So you need to rest and make sure that you're making the best possible decision. And hopefully those strong people in your environment will be able to provide you with the time to do that. And then you have the Chariot as your overall card. So the Chariot is that drive to push you forward into the future, come hell or high water. That energy is really supporting you moving forward. And so with the moon, the Hierophant, strength, justice, the world, and the Chariot, 7 out of 10 cards being major arcana, this reading is a bit overwhelming, and I can see why that one little 4 of Swords card asking you to rest is going to be critical for you in the month ahead. So be sure that you rest when needed. Okay, let me pull one. Okay, so you wanted to get 2 popped out. So 2 little cards here from the Relationship Oracle deck. And you got Longing Look and Roll in the Hay. Longing Look and Roll in the Hay. And they're also numerically right after each other, B and C, A, B, C, D. So I would put them maybe as a roll in the hay and then a longing look. So if you do feel as if that might be to me, the roll in the hay and the longing look, it's almost like it's just reiterating to me the aspect of your relationship, or the aspect of your relationships, or this sort of like polarity, are bouncing back and forth that you're trying to balance out. Now you have to decide what that is for you, but the examples that were presented here would be like being really, really happy and then being upset. Or in this case, this roll in the hay, which is like a joyful being together with someone, kind of messing around and having fun, to a longing look. Be feeling like you're at separation and all you're connecting with the other person is the eyes. Like your only connection is through the longing look, and then it's a longing, which means that it's like unfulfilled. And so brings with it like a heavier weight to it, versus the roll in the hay, which is just like fun and joyful. So I feel like these oracle cards are just reiterating this this balancing act. And again, with the overall card, the Chariot, even if you're rocking back and forth or going a bit up and down and struggling with the balance part, you are moving forward and you know, making decisions, and big changes are happening. The environment is supporting you, and I hope you take lots of rest. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and stay tuned if you want to learn a little bit more. If you feel called to donate, that is the link to donate. Thanks again. Bye.